The relationship with Lindsay before we went to Parent Your Best was more focused on performance. As a dad, as a coach, as an athletic director, I think Lindsay probably started to see me more and more as a coach, and that damaged my relationship with her as a dad. And so, biggest things that happened to me was I was coaching Lindsay and had what I thought was giving her some great points after a game in our car ride home about things she could do to get better. And I talked to my wife that night and I said, we had a great conversation on the way home, talked about some things that she could work on to get better, told her how I'd love to help her do that. She said she would love to. And then 2 hours later when I followed up with my wife, with her conversation with Lindsay, it was, I hate Dad coaching me. I hate that I have to work on this. And I could tell that it was starting to feel like she was getting judged by her performance only and her as an athlete as opposed to her as my daughter. I think the one thing that has stood out for me from our seminar and continues to stand out in my thinking patterns and how I interact with Lindsay is, who does Lindsay need me to be right now? And sometimes it's the kind, loving dad who gives her hugs and encouragement. Sometimes it's a little bit of a kick in the pants, and sometimes it's just to be there for her and let her set the level and the tone for our conversation. But because of that, it changed my thinking in terms of, instead of it's about me, it's about her, and it's really added value to our relationship. In looking back at how our relationship with Lindsay has changed, my relationship with Lindsay and my relationship with Amy, I think the biggest thing for Amy and I would be that we really never had sat down and wrote out our core values. Our shared values, and we've had the opportunity now a couple times at the dinner table with our kids to talk about what do we value. We're going to go for 5, and we have 4 clearly defined, and we're chewing on the 5th one. But because of that, it's easy for Amy and I now, instead of rules, it's expectations, because we value these things. And when we value fun in our family, we can clearly communicate that to our kids, how it shows up. We do fun things. We want things to be enjoyable. So that would be a great thing for Amy and I, because we partner together, we have the commonality, and we're on the same page. So we always can go back to what we expect via our values. And really similar to that with Lindsay, because we had to have those things and talk about what did she value in playing a sport, what did she value in her relationship with us, because we need to be understanding her needs and her wants and her desires. And so it's given us an opportunity or a vehicle platform to start having those conversations. And it's been fun, it's been exciting, it's been interesting, because you're learning things about your child you didn't know, and that's fun as a dad. We have seen Lindsay change with having more communication, more honest communication, more real communication, and she's just had that vulnerability where she trusts us now, because there's not a judgment on her with her performance. And because of that, we're seeing more of her and more of her personality come out and grow and develop. I would say for dads who are out there, I know the dads here at Charlotte Christian, I know the dads, I mean the community at church, sporting teams, different things we have, that their heart's desires are to be a great parent, to impact their kids, to have their kids enjoy sports the way they did, and even take it to the next level. But how to get there is somewhat challenging. And when you start recognizing that as a dad, that you need some help, this is the best thing I've seen in my 15 plus years as an athletic director. So I could recommend it to a coach, I could recommend it to a parent. I have a special place for dads, because dads need to be setting the tempo for their family. So the things I would encourage every dad to do is, one, is to go through this, go through it with an open mind and open heart, but look at it as a great opportunity to know yourself better and what you hope your hopes and desires are for your children outside of performance. But then you can clearly communicate that with your children and find out what they have and what they hope for. And again, it's not about sport for us at this point. It's about our relationship with our daughter through sports, and so it's been very rewarding.